So we're going to use this book to see how the Choctaws had football. But first, let me tell you where I got the book. Here's the name of the book: Researches Philosophical Antiquarian Concerning Aboriginal History of America. This book is in the Library of the Congress.gov. And one thing to note, that it talks specifically about any Indian that's talking in here is talking about a melanated, copper-colored Indian like us. It says, though America possesses some dark brown men approaching to black, yet it has almost been universally believed that there is no Aboriginal blacks or Negroes found on this continent. But from considering the peculiar circumstances which a black race was found in North America, I hold it more probable that the common opinion is erroneous, meaning that there is black Indians, they are Aboriginal, that is us. So I just wanted to give you that so you know what they're talking about. But we're going to go into this because I've already talked about how the Mayans had already did basketball. They would make a flat surface with round balls, a goal possibly, and they had the round ball. Here's another depiction. And without getting too deep, because I got a video about this, an archaeologist shows this, and she says that this is a round ball mold where they took rubber from trees that they put into a round mold made out of metal, and it held the rubber until it was a perfect circle so they can bounce this rubbery ball. So now let's talk about the Choctaws and football. And the reason why I wanted to show you that is because these are completely different methods on making a ball. They made a rubber ball that bounced in a ball mode. Let's see how they did this. A very masculine game, something resembling cricket or football, was played by them throughout the whole continent. Whose general character may be understood from the following descriptions of it as practiced among the Choctaws. It says the ball is made of a piece of scraped deer skin, moistened and stuffed hard with hair and strongly sewed with sewings. The game is played by two parties with short sticks, at least they're using sticks for this, so it's not completely football, who contend with each other in driving the ball between two opposite goals about 500 yards apart. There were some variations in the manner of playing this game that are not deemed worthy of peculiar notice. So here we have an account in 1829 utilizing primary sources about the Choctaws having a game that was very similar to football. The only thing, if they use sticks other than their hands to toss the ball, would be one of the main differences. But for the main thing, it's they have a ball, they strung it together like a pigskin. They say they use pigskin, but it was deer skin stuffed hard. You know what I mean? And they have two goals on the opposite ends, 500 yards instead of 100 yards between the goals. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. But let's just keep looking at something else past that. It says the Abe Molina, and this is the History of Chile of the Second Voyage, page 108, reports that the Acarusians of Chile play chess, which game has been known to them from the time immemorial by the name of Comic-Con or something like that. So we were playing chess in certain areas, and he said that they've been doing it from time immemorial, right? It's amazing. This particular section of the book goes into the type of games the Indians played. But we also gambled, like we be gambling today, right? Look at this. With these and some other games too uninteresting to be described, the Indians gambled to the greatest excess. They staked furniture, tools, clothes, and even their liberty on the hazard of the game, with all of the madness and folly that characterized the ancient Germans as related by whatever that dude's name is. So even we were putting in gambling and wagering our clothes, our furniture, and I mean we were living real life. But you know how they try to say the drums came from Africa? As if nobody could beat on anything and figure that out. But it says the immensely large drum used by the Indians or the in Orinoco or whatever were for the purpose of alarming the country in times of invasion and not for music for that particular one. But it says right here, those were for the large drums, but the smaller drums talks about here. It says another stick was drawn backwards and forwards. Kinamore. At other times, a well-dried deer skin was shaken by one of the more persons with similar melody and sometimes being stretched over a hollow log. Okay, you stretch a skin of a thing over a hollow log in it, or an earthen pot, and it produced the sound of a dull drum. That's a kick drum. A kick drum will have the thing over the front, and it's the drum is a wooden hollow tube. Okay, so look, man, I'm gonna make a video just particularly from that because I'm gonna use those sources that try to say that the drum came from Africa. These people be playing as if we wasn't doing things over here like crazy. Quit playing with us.